Hi, my name's David Herring. First of all, I got to apologize for not being there in person today, but I had a previous volunteer commitment. That's not very flexible. But I do have your questions that were sent via email, so I thought about them, came up with some responses, and I'd like to share those responses with you now. Question number one's asking for an example of how I use creativity and initiative within my classroom. So this is really a simple concept for me. I need all my students to be engaged at all times, and the easiest way to do this is to ensure that I create lessons that are fun and exciting for the students. I do this by trying to touch on a variety of learning styles and preferences. For many lessons, I attempt to use some sort of technology or computer-based program. So this could be as simple as implementing the computer-based program or implementing websites that reteach the topics that I've already taught in class, or by having students respond to questions using a remote control system, or even communicating with students and parents via a messaging system. When I'm not using technology, I still like to use a variety of hands-on manipulatives within the lessons in the classroom. I'll incorporate some manipulatives that are usually found around at home in everyday life when teaching lessons, sometimes maybe even using boxes for a lesson on volume that was displayed in the Times community section. Did a nice little article on that. I also like to, another example would be maybe using Hershey bars for a lesson on fractions. And kids really get excited and they're fully engaged when those manipulatives or technologies are in place in the classroom. Let's go ahead and look at question 2. For question 2, it's asking for an example of how I have developed my students to reach their full academic potential. Now, I think motivation is key when striving to reach your full potential. So sometimes students just need a simple reminder of what their motivation is based on what their goals are. I really try to motivate students by using both external and internal motivational methods, whether it's something external like a small prize, a treat, a coupon, or even just playing basketball with the students, which they really enjoy, or something more internal like acknowledgement or the feeling of achieving a goal. Many students respond better when a little motivation is behind them. Now, students also need to see the benefits of their hard work. So in order to do this, and in order to be motivated to keep working hard, we like to come up with reward systems to celebrate success. By creating that reward system, it allows students to cash in and receive various prizes and privileges as well as their incentives. Let's look at question 3. For question 3, it's asking, how do I develop an outstanding learning community within my sphere of influence? So I noted that my students and we do spend a lot of time together. So we want to make sure we enjoy being around each other. And humor is a constant tool that I attempt to use in hopes that my students will enjoy being in my presence. Beyond that, I strive to build positive relationships with my students and parents so that they always feel welcome and comfortable. Having some mutual admiration, I believe, goes a long way for both teacher and student, wanting to work hard for each other. Another example of how I help to develop the learning community is whenever I come across something that I think has value, I love to share it with my peers and colleagues here at school in hopes that it may enrich their curriculum, their lessons, or their atmosphere. Let's look at question 4. For question 4, it's asking, how do I contribute my time and energy to improve the quality of life for my students? I think it's very important to help provide opportunities for students that they might not have otherwise. Whether it's coaching them and teaching values along with the athletics, or whether it's tutoring a group of students during lunch or after school that may not receive that support at home, I've seen giving a little bit of myself has had a huge impact on student success. Success in the form of high achievement on standardized tests like the I-STEP test, or even students that I've worked with receiving scholarships to go on to higher education. Very fulfilling, and a great example of how a little bit of time and a little bit of energy helps to improve the community. By making those sacrifices and helping others and leading by example, I think the message gets across to those that I come in contact with that we all have a responsibility to help others in need to make our community a better place. Not only just needing to make our community a better place, but we also want to make our community a place that others want to move into. And that's really all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, apologize for not being there in person. Take care.